Hello, this is Jeff McFeeters once again with some tips and demonstrations on how I use BlendIf in my workflow. This is part of my travel and landscape photography workflow, and here I have an image that I brought in from Lightroom. It's been retouched, and I generally like the tones and levels in this. It was a good day for photography of this sort because the overcast sky, as you can see in this reflection, uh, made the light work well for shadowed areas and not blowing out the highlights too badly. However, I really wish that that reflection had a little more interest in it like this, and then maybe add a little texture like this without affecting the glass. So how do we do that using BlendIf, and what kind of workflow does it look like? Is it complex? No, it really isn't. Let's go to our image here on a layer of its own, and I have this image that I want to bring in to use in the window because I picked it to demonstrate a few of the things that we're doing here, but I do like the diffusion of the clouds and the sky here as probably similar time of day and light that would look realistic to replace that overexposed area of reflection in the glass. Let's take that into the image, and you see it is a smaller image in the first place, so that's good. And we can drop the opacity to kind of see where we want to place this and to be able to see through to the back. We can even resize this maybe if I just wanted the sky like I showed you. For this purpose, I'm going to show you what happens if we what our other options are, let's say, to keep this realistic looking. I'm going to select the layer that I want to work with and duplicate that so I'm working on a copy. And since this is so easy to select, it would be tempting to simply grab the magic wand and select these windows and create a mask and invert that mask and say, ta-da, there it is. But in my opinion, that does not look like a reflection. It looks more like it's a mirror, and it doesn't seem like that would be there in Rome. The other thing you might say, well, what if I drop the opacity here a little bit and do that? And you know, that's possible. I don't think it gives quite the same effect of light as using BlendIf. So let's compare that later. Let's see what we can do here. Let me duplicate this layer, and we'll try another set and bring that back opacity here. Let's duplicate our background copy again, bring it up here, and now let's use BlendIf. Then the blending options palette, which is also available from your main menu under Layer and Layer Style. It'll pop out to blending options. All right, I'm going to clip the light pixels by moving this arrow here, and that reveals anything darker below. And if I split this little arrow using the Alt Option key, then I can feather that selection and make it look pretty realistic. And I really like, there's a slight, it's subtle to me, but it also allows for quite a bit of tweaking, and that's something that I find attractive to me in how this works. Because now, when I select that, even though I've got some bleed through here, that just means that these pixels on this layer are lighter than the pixels below. And what would make those darker is very easy to do with a burn tool, just for the highlights, exposure at 1%, so that we're not affecting this layer hardly at all. It doesn't take much of a change of pixel brightness to release those pixels back to the layer below and bring back our pixels in this layer. So it's just a matter of brushing, and you can see the effect by turning on and off this layer. As you do it, you can see how well you're affecting it. Okay, so just brush, spend a minute, and you don't have to be real accurate. It's just going over that back and forth as you hold the mouse down, or if you've got a tablet, just putting the pen to the board, and pretty soon there you are. You've got a pretty nice blend from below. Now to add texture to this selection is going to be handy, because now it's very easy to block out this area in the texture by combining this mask with our texture, and then only applying the white area of the mask of the texture. So I'll go to my texture and I'll drag it in. Well, actually, before I do that, I want to blend these areas so that I have kind of a copy with everything done. So right now, I've got these different layers, and if I Command Option or Alt Shift E on the top layer, it creates what's called a stamp of all the changes you've done below, and doesn't remove any of the layers below. So you have a new layer that incorporates everything you've done below. Okay, now we'll go and drag this in, and here we go. Now this has some color to it that I don't necessarily want to incorporate into this image. And anytime you have a layer that you don't want it affecting color, you can change it to luminosity, and now it doesn't affect that layer below. The other thing is I really only want a subtle effect of the texture. So I'm going to probably only be using just a little bit of this texture on this image. And if I take this mask down here and Option and drag it so I can keep it there and move it up here, it'll copy it and put it in here. And now, as you see, I've affected that window so that the texture is absent from the glass surface. What I like to do, I could change this also to soft light. Oops. Select the right layer. I could change this to soft light, but I would really be not seeing much effect of the texture. So I like to do it this way. I like to make that luminosity. I like to take this layer, move it above, so that I'm bringing through, using Blend If, what I want from the layer below. So this layer, we'll do blending options, and we'll first change it to soft light. And now I can affect how I want the textures below to be revealed. I can see the shadows, and I can see my highlights, and I can bring in just what I want is I bring that up, it flattens the light, and as I bring this down, it brings up the shadows some. And I can click OK there. I still can affect overall opacity by moving this down just a little bit, maybe to 80–90%. And because it's a soft light, it has dimmed the overall appearance as well as added saturation, which I don't particularly want here. So I can then just make a few adjustments with my vibrance adjustments, and maybe do a quick curves adjustment to bring up my brights to really enhance that central area, but not get down too far into the shadows. So in that, I would normally make a luminosity layer as well. So here we can see the effects that we've made as we went from here to the texture and to this color here. Let's see how we compare to where I started. I think I like this a little better because I didn't do all these effects. I might adjust this just a tad, like that. And there you go. This is pretty simple stuff, but I really like how the Blend Diff tool works, and I think that if you experiment with it some, you'll find that it can be very useful for these types of composites and help in your workflow. Have a great day. Don't forget to make comments, ask questions, contact me. I'm available anytime. You can reach me at www.jeffmcfeeters.com. Comment below on this YouTube stream, or you can reach me on Facebook, 500px, Google+, and I hope to see you. Have a great day and keep on shooting.